Yeah,
Community strong
let's
whenever
just take a minute or two to share the live.
we've created a home. With laughter and love, we break down the walls. No topics too tough, just heed the call. From mental health woes to justice we seek. Together we rise for the strong and the meek. A safe space for all, let's lift every voice. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a circle podcast where love is well known. In a circle podcast where hearts unite, sharing our truths, bringing hope to the light. Community strong, we're never alone. Together as one, we've created a home. So join the conversation, let's set the tone. In a circle podcast where love is well known. Let's set the tone. In a circle podcast where love is well known.
All right. Well, folks, good evening. Good evening, Tatus. Good evening, Patience. Good evening, Melvin. How you all doing today?
I'm great, my brother. How are you, man? How's the team?
Man,
So,
can't
are you
complain,
guys?
man. Everybody's doing good. I'm doing good on my end. Patience, it's been a minute. Good to see you.
I know I'm back now. I'm done with what I was working on. So
Been
I'm
a
back.
little vacation, huh?
Well, not vacation, just trying to get some school stuff out the way.
All right, that's good. That's good. Always making progress, right?
That's
Now,
right.
Yes, sir. I'm doing good, brother. An exciting week. And all is going well on my end. And thank you for asking.
glad to hear that, man. Folks, if you're watching us tonight, we want to say good evening to you and welcome to the social segment of the Inner Cycle podcast. Tonight, we're going to be discussing societal take on body enhancement. So, what do people think about enhancing bodies? Like, the most common one that we know, right, is the BBL, the boobs, and all those things. There's so many of them, but those are common. And some people who are not doing it tend to say, "Hey, this is not something a person should be doing." And the people who are doing it, they're saying, "Hey, I like it." Right? Even tattoos and all of those things, those are body enhancements, piercings, and all kinds of other things that people do to their bodies to kind of enhance their look or just to look and feel different. So, this is what we'll be discussing tonight. So, if you're watching us, we like for you to participate in two ways. You can make a comment, you can call the number that's on the screen, and just form part of the conversation. So, we welcome you to stick with us. We're going to be around for the next about an hour or so. So, Patience, what's your tick? You're muted. You're muted. You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'm
okay.
a strong believer. To each his own. Is your body. You can do whatever you want to do with it. If you feel like that's gonna boost your self esteem, or if it's something that you're doing for you, as long as you're doing it for you, it's your body is your choice.
Right. Melvin Pitcher says something about self-esteem. Do you think that's part of the reason why people, part of the reasons why people consider doing the body enhancement,
Yeah, so
self-esteem?
yeah, that's one of the driving forces behind. a lot of these things, right? I mean, first of all, people try to do some type of modification to their body on the basis of them being accepted. So yes, self-esteem has a lot to do with it. But again, Sam, from the angle we're coming from tonight, there are some that some body enhancement that I would be okay with, and there are some I would kind of question personally, and that has nothing to do with anybody. Even going to gym, exercising is some type of
Yeah,
body.
that's that body enhancement. Yeah, of
And
course.
that in turn can be helpful. It can be is healthy. You working out, you basically exercising on a regular basis, and there are some that will come with a lot of medical issues and implications. So it depends on which one you're looking at. All of them not so bad. Yeah, there are some that are so good that we need to do on a regular basis, like exercising we just mentioned. Like you mentioned, tattoo is another piece, right? And doing those implants, like you just mentioned when you were doing your introduction, lifting all your boobs and implanting something to make sure your backside look nice, and those things have a negative implication when it comes to the health aspect of it. So, like you said, if you decide to do it and you know the negative implication or the aftermath, that's the key word, and you go for it, well then that's on you, because no one can kind of decide for you.
But maybe
uh,
with everything, there's risk. I mean, even as a man who wants to get some big muscles, right? And supplements and all those things that he will be taking, they all have risk. So everything there's risk to it. But you
Absolutely, but
mentioned you I don't want to dwell on that, but you can address if you want to, not to cut you off. But you mentioned that there are some enhancements that you would agree with. What are some of those that you will support?
exercising, like working out, right? Going to the gym on a regular basis. That's some type of body modification, right? Lifting a weight, or jogging, and all those kind of things. You're changing your body structure in a sense. That is healthy. I will be very much okay to do that. I'll be aligned with doing those. But those ones that will require you going on a certain type of procedure that requires surgery and stuff like that. Yeah, Sam, you mentioned taking in medication to gain muscle.
Yeah, supplements. Yeah,
Not everybody that go to gym taking supplements to gain muscle. Some people
right.
naturally just work out, drink water, and they gain muscle. So if you're taking supplement, you got to look at the piece of it. What are within those supplements you're taking? What will be the aftermath? So yes, to everything there is risk, but you got to make a calculated decision. What level of risk are you willing to take? Right. I'm working out, taking supplement. I just basically it's like, oh, if you do this, this is what we're gonna be, and the risk is lower than somebody who's doing a surgery. I
So
do.
Melvin, before we go to Titus, 10 years ago, if you met a chick and this chick did her body, right? She did her body from top to bottom, and she looks gorgeous. You wouldn't go for it?
That's a tough question, brother.
Let's go to
But
Titus.
but
Titus, what's
but
that?
but
No, no, hold on. I want Jamie with that question. Think about it. Think of how to answer, how to respond.
I was gonna answer it, but go on to
Okay,
that.
go ahead. Go for it.
If I mean, Sam,
We're
like I
talking
said,
10 years ago, right? To be safe. 10 years ago.
yeah.
The Melvin 10 years ago. What are you doing?
My brother, those things, in as much as we say they have negative implication or aftermath, they are actually attractive sexually. So I don't
It
mind going for
mentioned, it
that.
mentioned
What a
you too. It mentioned
man.
you too. So then, if this risk is not your risk, right? And that's what Patient said. To each his own. But let's go to Tatos. Tatos, what's your take?
We're talking about something that partly has a billion-dollar industry going now, especially with the liposuction and the surgical procedures that we're talking about. There's a reason there is a bit an industry set for this that's making a whole lot of money because people will always want to improve and modify and enhance in whatever way you think about, right? Whether it's going under the knife or just taking in supplements, natural or supplements that have side effects. Folks will do what they want to do. And there are some key things you guys are talking about here. Melvin spoke of acceptance, acceptability, and then patience is talking about free will. I think those two kind of go hand in hand because of free will, right? And the consideration of being accepted. Look at the question that you just asked Melvin, right? If you were going for, because men go for what, mostly what they see first, right? Then the character and the attitude kind of keep the man there. Let's be very frank.
That's true.
Most of the time, the men, that's why the women will do all these things just to be attractive, because that's what the man goes for first. And then you can learn about other values and other stuff later, right? So if women over a period of time have seen that maybe a certain appearance or a certain look has been winning, right?
Right.
Winning, getting more dudes, getting more men, maybe more um, guys who are willing to do anything because the woman look a certain way, and then she brings her other values or other characteristics to kind of sustain and maintain that man. Well, more women will want to go for that appearance, that attract the men.
Do you think it has to do anything with self-esteem? If not, what do you think are some of the driving forces?
I think partially. I think partially Susan might have some role to play in there. But also it could just be for the heck of it. For the heck of it.
Yeah, I
Some
mean, you
people,
just want to look good. You
yeah,
just see
some
something
people,
you like
yeah,
and you just
some
want to do it, right?
that's it.
Right.
And
And
if we
if
can
it's
go get
there,
that
it's there.
procedure,
You
go
know,
ahead.
if it's there, it's there. Maybe you with a guy and this guy is telling you, baby, I like, a bigger butt,
Yeah,
or I
yeah.
like a bigger boobs. Or let's say, for example, you're a woman, you had kids, right? And your boobs dropped. 10 years ago, they were standing firm, but you had, a couple of kids and they fell down. Naturally fell down.
So
So you
just
say, you know what happened? I don't want to accept this. I want to do something different because I can. It's relatively available,
yeah,
even though there are risks. But you do what you need to do, and you go and you enhance it. And you just look and feel like the way you want to feel, right?
that's that's it. That's it.
So
And
so so
why
so
not?
so yeah. I mean, I don't personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. If you can afford it and you went through, I just advise people, do it the right way. Do it the right way. Because my man, one time I was in one city, I won't call the city name, right? That all. I was somewhere. They take pass. The thing behind her ain't aligned with the foot. They let, I don't know where she went to do that thing, my man. The thing was so obvious. So when you're doing it, you gotta do it right because we are looking.
Yeah,
We are seeing people, when it's done badly, person, this thing, yeah. When it's done badly, you can see it. So that they kind of surgery is not something, the enhancements is not something you want to go do beyond the house. Go to a cheaper place. Go pay that good money and get it done right. Because when it's done right, then we start asking, is it real? Is it fake? When you ask it, is it real? Is it fake? Then you know it's done right.
body
But
and
when we
legs
see it and be like,
disproportionate.
oh, that thing fake, then I mean it ain't done right. You know what I mean? Person, what's your take on it? Because you're a female. For me, I just talking.
No, I mean, like I said, with the whole body enhancement thing, the healthy way is different. But if you choose to go underneath a knife, like I said before, do it for yourself. Make sure that's something that you want. You're not just doing it. Once again, people do things because everybody else is doing it. Like, oh, this person got that body done. They look nice. Okay, I'll go do mine too. It's not so much of this is what I have been thinking about or this has been
Hmm.
on my mind for X amount of time. It's just right now is a trend. Like everybody's just going with the trend. And when that trend is over, and when medical problems start happening, because those things has medical effects the older it gets too. But they're not thinking or processing out of that. They're just going with the trend right now. Once that trend is over, we're gonna see people going to start regretting it and trying to get back to what it used to be.
So as a woman, is that something you would consider for anything?
Shit, I mean, I got what I need, so I don't know. Mm-mm.
You good,
I'll take it
Okay.
homie?
to the.
You
I'll take
good?
it to the gym and enhance it.
You
And
good?
plus, I'm a punk. I can't. I'm scared. Like
You're
I can get
scared.
tattoos, but not. I can't even get piercing before I go lay down on the knife.
Mm.
That's yeah.
So Titus, will you be supportive
Very
to a
scary.
partner who came up to you and said to you, Titus, babe, I want to do some enhancements,
Absolutely,
and
bro.
it costs some money. I need support. Will you be willing to support her?
I will be. I will be
Yeah.
because it's important to have that partner feel as confident as she wants to feel, man, within
Right.
herself. If she feels like, hey, this, I want to do this, it's gonna make me feel more confident. I just I like it. I see it. I like it. I want it, bro.
Right.
As a supportive partner, I'll be there to give all that support, man. In as much as um my partner knows, I'm a very aphrodisiac guy. I love natural and all of that. But hey, if you want to do one or two here to enhance your confidence, or just because it makes you feel good, go for it. I'm here for it.
Right.
As long as we're also considering the risk and how that
Right.
might impact you, and that risk is limited. Yeah, go for it.
Right.
I'm not support.
Melvin, no, no, thank you very much. Melvin, if you were in a situation and this person you care about so much, but you're hoping that something will be different with them, how would you bring up that conversation with that person, talking about
Uh,
enhancing? How will you encourage them to consider enhancing something?
great conversation. Great conversation. First of all, we society we tend to focus on the wrong thing. What do I mean by that? Right? Um, those things for me personally, they are not things that will hold water for me when it comes to relationship. I want to focus on, you know, behavior. I want to focus on characters, and I want to focus on growth. Right? If you have all of those things and you are thinking about that, me as your partner, knowing that, especially implant, right? It has not negative,
All
but
right, so hold on,
health.
Melvin, hold on. Let me rephrase it because the way I want you to answer the question and not the way you answer the question.
I'm not going to answer the question the way you want me to answer it. Just
No,
know
but
that.
let me propose this question again. Let me put the question
Okay.
to you like this. Then it will have you to answer it like that. No, regardless what. If you want to answer it again, I have been it. But here it is. You're dating this woman, right? You're
Mhm.
dating this woman. She had big butt,
Mhm.
big titty, right?
Mhm.
Big butt, big titty.
Mhm.
You're together. You had a 4 children, right? You got 4 children now, right? And then your titty drop, right? She's got good character. Everything's still good,
Mhm.
right? And they tell you that today you used to like being on, but they tell you not drop now,
Mhm.
right? And you're a titty guy, you're a boobs guy. So
Why you
would
gotta
you
keep emphasizing on the drop like that?
because when it's dry, it can drop. When it's dry, it can drop. So, I mean, so it has dropped, right?
Okay.
Severely.
Okay.
And you're a boobs guy. By nature, you're a boobs guy, right? I'm not saying you are, but in a scenario, you're a boobs guy.
Yeah.
And you're finding it hard to accept that your boobs that were very sturdy are now very weak.
Okay.
Now, how will you feel? And if you were to feel any type of way, how will you address it? Or
Well,
will you just live with it?
I know where you're going with that, but when I started answering, I said we focus on the wrong things, right?
Right, right, right.
We focus on the wrong things because it's nature. If a person give birth after time, those things would change. Their body would change. I'm going to look at the long term impact for my partner, and I'm going to work with her. The fact that we have kids and that have changed over time, understand people would change. Understand the body structure would change. I'll be okay with that.
Yeah,
It's not
yeah,
something
yeah.
she.
So you
It's
would
not something
never,
that
it
happens.
would never cross your mind to encourage any enhancement.
Absolutely not,
So you would
because
never encourage a woman to enhance. You would never be the one to
it,
bring that
it
conversation
depends
up.
on the enhancement. If you want to work out, go to the gym and do some type of modification to your body in terms of working out. Yes, I'll support you on that piece.
Right,
But if you
right.
want to do implant, that will have health issues and health implications in long term, I'm not going to support you. But if it is your decision, I'm not going to say don't do it at all. I'm going to tell you the fact that these are things that are going to happen if you
Right.
do this in the long run. Make sure make that clear. When I
Okay.
started, I said we focus on the wrong thing, and these are the wrong
Right.
things to focus on.
Right.
Let me ask. Can I?
Focusing,
Let me,
focusing,
if I
focusing,
may, can I ask
focusing,
Mel real quick?
Yeah. I
focusing.
thought that, of course, you can ask Melvin. Go ahead, Melvin.
Since
But I'm
since you
still
know,
talking though. I'm still in route. If you
No,
let
no,
me
no.
go
answer.
Go
ahead.
ahead. Go ahead. We won't
Finish,
hijack
finish,
you. Go
bro.
ahead.
Land.
Sorry, Len.
Okay. If you truly love this person, right? And knowing you have kids by this person, things will change. And change is gonna happen regardless of where you are. So I'm gonna live with it and be fine with it and live with this person and move on with life.
Tados, go ahead.
So Sam asked about the twin, right? The breast on the female. So if the twin has
You
fallen,
call them the twin.
the twin
I like that one.
they become when
Uh,
they become fallen soldiers,
right.
and the woman wants to enhance. Since Mel is speaking more about not going towards the surgical path, Mel, what can you recommend to a female? What workout and methods that are non-surgical that can enhance the twin of a female?
Again, I'm not sure what type of workout you can perform or do to change your breast if it drops. But again, like I said, it will not be a problem
Push
for
ups,
me
maybe push ups.
because uh,
Push ups. Three
Push-ups,
3,000 push
I,
ups a
I
day.
don't know if push-ups can help. I don't know if jumping jack can help. But
osmotic.
I need to see something that will prove that
Not
something helps.
3,000
But I want
push-ups
to
a
believe.
day.
I
So,
want to believe. I want to
Push-ups.
believe, guys. I want to believe they have some type of exercises you can do to
my
help those
man,
things,
lead
right?
that team, man. Stop
We,
bluffing.
we
Ain't no
Osmotic.
exercise there.
I'm just saying. I don't
Ain't
know.
nothing there.
Then that's not what I said. I'm saying I don't know, but I want to
Ain't there.
believe they
I'm
have
telling
one
you
or
right
two
now,
out
you're
there.
not there. No
But I'm
exercise
not going to
there.
encourage. I'm not going to encourage her to do surgery. If that's something she wants by herself that she wants to do, we talk about the health implication of it. Yeah, she can go and do it. I'm not. I'm not going to say don't do it, but I will not be pushing
So
her to
you won't be
doing it. I'm not going
supportive.
to be go and do it.
Right.
That will not be me. I'll tell her
Let
the
let
health
balance
reason.
the let balance this conversation, right? Let not focus too much on the women because men can also do enhancement,
Hmm.
right?
Right.
Right.
So Pearson, what if you
Yeah.
met a guy, right? You met a guy, you like this guy, character that Melvin said, character everything in line, right? Do
Uh-huh.
everything in line. But then down there not correct. Right? Down there not correct. Will you bring up that conversation and say, babe, what matter of fact, will you consider bringing up that
Not
conversation
touching.
for enhancement
I
down there?
will not. I will not want anybody to risk their life for my pleasure. That is his choice. He decided to live with it all these years of his life. If it's not what I want, I would rather look for what I want than to suggest that. Because going on a knife, that's a life and death situation. Or you will get out of there with some type of complication that you will never recover from. I don't think I can live with that. So I wouldn't recommend that. No.
So what if he brought the conversation up? Will you support him?
Oh
And will it
yeah,
be
if
will
he
it be
comes
will
to
it be
that,
weird for you? Will it be weird for you? How will you feel
it
about it?
definitely will not be because I want him to be comfortable in his skin and be who he is. So if that's something that he come up to me and be like, look here, babe, I have been feeling insecure, and I'm gonna go and do this. We're gonna read about it. Look at all the complications and everything. If he still wants to do it, I will take care of him when he come back home. Or even go with him if he needs me to.
Right, right.
As long as
So
it's his choice.
right. So
Yeah.
gentlemen, as men, if we were with a woman, right, and she brought this conversation up, encouraging us to enhance our manhood, right? If your woman came to you and said, babe, and
You're not
to be
hating.
honest with
You're
you,
not hating.
can you consider can you consider enhancing at least 2 or 3 more inches?
Jesus.
Yeah? What would you say? How
No,
will you
no, brother,
respond?
no. I'm not doing that. Okay. First, first of
Right.
all, I mean, if it is not, if it's not pleasing you, as is, we talk about it. And, if it's not something working for you, then there'll be somebody it will work for. There'll be somebody that my whatever inch it is, I'll be okay with it. Now, here's
Right.
why I'm saying that, Sam. Right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Looking at the men, right? That piece over there, there are a lot of veins, a lot of nerves that go through it.
But the
Enhancing it.
doctors are working on it.
I don't care what other people do. I'm talking about me. I'm just saying,
I
going
mean,
over
ain't
there,
nobody messing with
going over
you.
there to fix
Yeah.
a check, you might cause some type of damage to yourself. And then the person you're trying to please, and that
Right.
thing's spoiled, and you can't do anything
They're
anymore,
gone.
they're gone. So I'll be okay with what I have. I'm pleased with what I have, sir. I'm sorry.
You not like it, he will go.
You're not like it, you go. But yeah, I ain't coming to myself. The thing that the
Thank
puppy
you,
they ain't do
Oh
anything that they
man,
want. I
you like
come and
it, you will go.
I'm begging
I
you,
beg you, yeah.
Zaya.
That's how you will handle that conversation.
It's
How
a
you
hard
handle that conversation?
conversation. I can only imagine. First of all, the man will already start feeling less than a man because
Right, right,
like men take that so seriously. But in the woman's defense, it'll be a good, open discussion. She's been really honest to you. She don't want
right,
to go over there and start looking. So she just telling you, like, man, this stuff here, you gotta hit me. You gotta touch places.
right.
And what do you think? What can be done about this? I can imagine, man, that would be a really tough thing for a man to listen to and sit down and talk about.
Right.
But as far as enhancement, I'm with Mel on that, man. Fortunately for us, we haven't encountered that type of situation.
yeah.
Peasant. What if it was related to enhancement? When it comes to performance,
Like I, like I said, to each his own.
or,
For
or winner
me,
winner is hold on
I
a
just
Birthday
want
second.
to give a
girl,
birthday shout out to
Hold on a
myself on
second.
this.
Hold on a second. Let's sing the happy birthday song to winner real quick.
birthday girl,
Happy
happy
birthday
birthday
to
To you.
you. Happy
to
Happy
you.
birthday
birthday.
to you. Winner, happy birthday, man. Thanks for
Happy
joining us. How are you?
birthday.
Happy
I'm
birthday,
good.
Wayne.
Hi guys. I
Which
missed
part of
y'all
the world
so
you at right
much. I gotta go
now?
to dinner. I just wanted to hop on to hear my birthday song.
You going to dinner?
enjoy.
Yeah, we're having dinner at our house.
Before you go, address
Getting
one
spoiled
question
out
real
there.
quick.
Sure.
If you met a guy,
Uh
right?
huh. Uh huh.
Well, you know the topic already. And this guy wasn't well endured, right? But you like the guy.
Mm-hmm.
And then you want to keep him, but you know the thing not that good. And now, there's possibility where you can enhance. How will you
Mm-hmm.
bring that conversation up to the guy?
I mean, okay, so I like the guy, but he's not like intelligent or what? What do you mean?
Now remember the topic at hand now, right? Enhancements. Body
Like,
enhancements.
oh, making
And
like bigger?
He's not
right,
blessed. He's
right.
not
He's not
blessed.
blessed down there. But you like him.
But,
Now you
but
want to
I thought,
encourage him to go for surgery.
but I thought it's the strokes that matter, not the length.
Ah,
The
there you
Oh, no more on different level. Enjoy your dinner, mama.
I'll see y'all later. Y'all have
We'll
fun
see you
tonight.
later.
Bye.
We'll see you later.
enjoy, enjoy.
Chichina tape. The whole tape Swiss.
This way.
So when I
Performance.
say guys should not worry about size because it is not
Yeah,
about the size, it is about the motion.
yeah.
Absolutely. I
Before
think
we
we
leave
can
that,
agree.
before we leave that other
I
topic,
I agree to that. It's not about the size; it's what you do with it. It really is.
that's another
Really?
topic for another day. We'll leave that one. Next Sunday is Freestyle Sunday. Next Sunday
Right.
is Freestyle Sunday. So we'll bring this back. We'll bring this back. But Melvin, I mean, I agree with you, man. It's a tough thing because if you want to go and do something and something went wrong with your thing, you're on your own.
You do.
You're on your
Yeah.
own.
And then you can't even get anybody else because
No,
that
you
thing
can't
not
get anybody
working.
else. You can't get anybody else.
So you're in limbo.
You in limbo.
I'd
Like
rather be
Bremen.
I'd rather not be in limbo, work with what I have and go for the length of time I have on the face of the earth.
Continue embarrassing. Continue embarrassing yourself.
Never said nobody messing with him. He's sending tensions on that.
Oh no, no.
But seriously, I mean, the fact remains that if a guy, this is acceptance, right? And it's a tough conversation because even you as a man, if you're dating a woman and because the difference here is that this woman met you like this. This is you, right? Then out of a second sudden she just has having the kind of conversation with you. It would be uncomfortable, man. Imagine she's with you for 4 or 5 years, then she bring that kind of conversation out. So you're thinking, so the whole time she been faking, you know what I
or
mean? Or,
or
or she have tried
where
something.
the woman
Where
pass?
she not go at?
That's another big question.
Where she
Well,
not
well,
go?
Joma, to
She
that point
noticing the
though,
difference now.
to that
Eh?
point though, to that point, I think that is a very good point. Good question you raised. When a woman spend a lot of time with different men, right?
Right.
It's a problem. It is a problem. A woman that have a lot of body counts that we kind of talked about the last time. Every man is not the same, right? And you end up
Patient
with
come out
somebody
soon. You address the one because maybe I don't know. Maybe speaking
you
from behalf of women.
you I don't know if it's on behalf of women, but I say that you have a lot of body counts, which of course sometimes it's not their fault, but you experience something extraordinary out there, and you settle down with somebody who's in the
Average.
middle, right? And now when this guy and you doing your thing, your mind is telling you, huh, Peter was different from this guy. You start comparing the guy you are with your exes, and that can be a big problem, my brother.
Hmm.
So when
Hmm.
these kind of conversations come up, these are things, and then other guys to be thinking about, like, okay, it means she has seen something longer or bigger than what I have here. I mean, I can please her. So
Mhm.
that is not the man's responsibility to fix you, right?
Mm.
You as a lady should kind of understand that they're different sizes. They're all not the same. That boat and it's not the same, right? So you got to understand that bringing that kind of conversation up is a tough thing. You got to be very careful in having any conversation because you're talking to somebody who's gonna think outside the box and be asking themselves questions.
Yeah.
The possibility of you guys continuing from that level, that young man will be thinking about a lot of things, and in turn will be like, no, I don't think this is what I want to continue. Because it's that conversation you should be having. So, like I said, Sam, if you have a lot of body counts, you start comparing men, that you had in your past with the men you have currently, and it can be a big problem, it can be detrimental to your growth in terms of your relationship to be cohesive and
Right.
enjoy, and for sex to be pleasurable.
I hear you. I hear you, my brother. But I don't know if Patient agrees with you on this one. Patient, what do you think?
Wow. What do you mean I don't agree? I just say I don't agree. I
No, no,
mean,
I'm not sure if you do. Do you agree with Melvin?
the whole body count thing we already went through it because we have babies. Body count don't count. We push out a human being outside of our body. That's the extreme. So when you're talking about body count, that body count thing don't count.
Mm.
But
Mm.
Your theory has been debunked.
um, a man brain is gonna work the way it works. You guys are set on tunnel vision when it comes to what a woman's supposed to be sexually or what she's supposed to look. Your brain is on tunnel vision, and we can't change that. Each person belief is different, and y'all just stand on that, just how we stand on whatever we want to stand on too. So that's how I look at it.
Done with it.
You want to respond, Melvin?
Well, I mean, yes, you said body count don't really matter the fact that if you give birth, but I think with experiences over time with different men, it has something to do with your sexual life as well. If you encounter which I think women do, the men you come across they are not the same down there.
No,
There's
nothing.
someone that yeah, so it has something to do with it. Not every woman have given birth, but they have experienced
What
one way or
happened?
the other. They have experienced one way or the other, on the lower end and on the higher end, depending on where they are. So it has something to do with that as well. And when I'm not in woman's head, but
Okay,
sometimes
hold
when
on,
you
Bobby.
think,
I'm not cutting you off though, but give me a minute. So if we reverse the role, if we start thinking about all your body counts and stuff, do you guys think we'll take y'all serious?
well,
Because
for men,
men, y'all be having sex for no reason whatsoever.
patient,
We
No, no,
just
yes, the
have,
problem. Yes, the
yeah,
problem with that, fish. Yes, the problem with that.
no,
Mhm.
but
For men, we remain the same.
And what does that even mean?
no, no.
I'm,
Let's
I'm
not
not
dive
going to
into the
dive
whole.
into it.
Let's
It
not
will kind
dive
of
into
No,
the
no,
drag
body
no,
out.
count thing.
no, no, no. I want to understand what he mean that men will remain the same. What does that mean?
Yeah,
Women, the
but
women remain
when
the
a
same
man
too.
have
Women
sex
will
with
remain the same too. Y'all move from here with that
no
thing with
let's say for example Tatos, right?
y'all move from here
My
with
brother Tatos right here. Let's say Tatos, let's just say this number. Let's say Tatos have had sex with 1,000 women, right?
uh-huh.
If Tatos came to you, you wouldn't know,
Right.
right?
Once again, the thing is a muscle. Okay, it's a muscle. The women who just let that self go, that's a different situation. But the thing is a muscle. You have the power to keep it as tight as you want to
Yo,
keep it.
And
That.
enhance the muscle.
even if it's not so tight, there's also enhancement you can do now. They
Yeah, so that's
call
what
it
that's what I'm
you
saying.
can
So with
go
this whole
and
body
get that
count, their
thing
whole
tightened
body
up
count
as
thing
well.
is a ton of vision for men.
You can
Because if we
also go
start
and get it
putting
tightened
body
up
counts
as
on
well.
y'all, we
It's an
won't be taking
enhancement.
y'all serious.
But Melvin, Tatas, before I come back to you here, what patient is saying, right? I think patient is also saying that that is not the only factor, right? And I hear you saying it plays a role as to how a woman, perceives sex and experiences sex, right? But it's not the only factor. There's so many other things that when I just told us, yeah, that the stroke is also a factor and not size for her, right? So what they we can't just focus on the two alone being the only factor to pleasing. Because some women, if you're not nice, if you're not this, you're not that, you can bring your biggest and longest two. They don't care about it. You know what I mean? So it's not the only factor. It's not the only factor. And so I can see where she's coming from too with that. Tatas, do you see anything different?
No,
Or maybe I mean, if you were you trying to say
I try
something?
to see both ends, right? Where Melvin is coming from and then where she's coming from as well. Wynn made a very and Wynn is a woman, she's speaking from a woman's perspective. And when she tells you this, you gotta believe it. That she's speaking from that perspective. So, it's not just the size, but how you use the tool, the functionality. But then there are also other women that would say, hey, man, I know that you to how you use it, all that stuff, but size also matter. Some
Right,
people want balance. So I think it goes both ways. Some folks just like to feel what they want to feel, however you're going to work. And then some folks are just fine with, how you put in that work and not how you're fitting, so to speak.
Right.
right,
There's
Once
both
again, to
sides.
each his own.
Yeah.
right.
So yeah,
But
Sam, I don't think I'm kind of limited to just one contributing factors. There are a lot of other things, like you guys are saying here, and I was mainly speaking to that piece. So the conversation was not just limited from my end, not just limited to one contributing factors. I just want to make that clear.
no, I agree.
You need to do that body count business and leave us in our body count business. We have
No,
been
I
having body counts too.
no, I agree. I agree. I agree, Melvin. So you know, let's move away from just the enhancements of breasts and boobs and all that stuff, right? Breasts and butt, because there are many other enhancements. Uh, uh, Titus, there's some guys who say a woman who is covered in tattoo, I can't see myself with her, right? Or some women say a guy who's just got tattoo all over him, I can't see
Yeah.
myself with him, right? What's your take on tattoo for a woman?
For me, I'm indifferent to it, right? I've been with women with beautiful tattoos. Some tattoos are very meaningful to the folks who got them on, and some were just for fashion. It looks good on the body. whatever that was. I'm indifferent to it, right? I don't come, I don't judge anybody. However, in our society, though, in our community, especially from our roots, you know, if you're back there and you're getting a tattoo, oh, you grown man already.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
you go to piercings again, forget it. Your
right,
parents are already on you. Like grown people think on it, like criminal, you won't be vagabond, all these, different judgmental slurs that they attribute to that. But let me tell you this, right? I've heard this one opinion from somebody before, and they were like, because tattoos come with a lot of pain, right?
hmm
And this is how like judgmental some people minds work. And this dude was like, a woman with so much tattoo, that's a lot of pain. That means she has high tolerance for
My
pain,
gosh. Yeah.
mm,
right?
mm,
So getting that type of information, folks with messed up mentality go in there to be like, okay, she been through a lot. She has high tolerance for pain. So instead of going there to maybe love her right, some folks just abuse that, bro.
mm,
They just abuse that. Like, okay, whatever happened here, I know she gonna take it because look at the woman. She already. So you see how people think.
hmm
I just wanted to kind of bring that in, and
right,
hear what you guys think about that. But
yeah,
yeah, that's how people are thinking with these different enhancement that we have, piercings, tattoos. I'm
right.
indifferent. I'm indifferent to it.
Maybe where do you stand on this?
Well, I'm not going to be judgmental on what someone does to their body, but in terms of dating someone, there'll be some type of limitation, and I'm not going to go into a relationship with. It's just my belief and just how I see it. That body is covered with all tattoo. I can see your natural skin because I love that as well. I love to see that melanin, right?
So
Uh,
how much of it can you consider, or would you
if I
consider?
mean, a little bit somewhere on your
So
shoulder,
she got one on her
you
boobs,
got
she
one
got
on her
one on her
boobs.
shoulder, she
Those
got
are
one on
okay.
her neck here, she got
Those are
some on her
fine.
thigh, stuff like that. You know, but you can
Yeah,
still see the skin.
I would consider that, but
You
not having
consider that.
it on your face and your entire body covered with tattoos. Then now it gets to the point like I can't even see your actual beauty that you were born with, right? What God gave you, then it becomes questionable. But again, if that's something that makes the person excited and makes them feel good about life, that's okay. But for me as an individual, I would date someone who just have like few, like we just said, right?
Right.
Um,
Right.
and Sam, these things have been existing for centuries. These are not stuff that just started, right? If you kind of follow people's been piercing, they've been having like multiple piercing back in the days, right? But
hmm
now society have really shifted wherein our generation now we look at appearance, we look at how you look like, and these things are driving a lot of these things are making people to be, oh, this is going on and people like it, it's more of it's trending, I'll go and do it, right? And these are things that are making a lot of folks to join the bandwagon. But
hmm
again, as an individual, I'll be somehow selected if it comes to someone I'm dating on what to do, what type of body enhancement they're carrying on their body.
Absolutely. And before we go to patients, Melvin, this one's for you. Titus can chime in after patient throws light on it. You mentioned initially that you support working out, right, as a form of enhancement. What if you were working out and your girl told you, I don't like how you're getting. I don't like you getting all these muscles. I don't like this. It doesn't. I don't like it. What will you do?
Well, good to hear from a lady, right? Somebody I'm dating. She has every right to tell me how she wants to see me because that's what going to make her happy. Now, if she says that, I will understand. So, what do you want? How you want to see it? What type of body structure you love to see? If your man is, working out a lot and you see, body mass, the muscles kind of growing. What you want to see? You want to see me more with like jogging or running, avoid lifting weight? I mean, this is somebody I'm with, and I'm with for a very long time. If she think I'm gaining a lot of muscle, and she doesn't like it, and it doesn't seem attracted to her, I'll make a change. But I want to understand how she want it, because I mean, if it's something healthy, like I'm doing it just for health wise, and you say, oh Mel, you're gaining muscle, you gain a lot of muscle, I want you to reduce it. then I want to understand how you want it. Like to what extent you want to see it.
So
Do you
if you were
want to?
doing if you were doing this because it makes you feel good and it enhances your self esteem, but she's saying that, hey, I don't like this, get rid of it. So then will you sacrifice your own happiness to
That's
please her?
That's Sam. Before I answer your question, right? Relationship is you gotta give and take. You gotta compromise, right? You have to be able to compromise, and compromising, entails those kind of things, right? If my lady is not okay with me gaining body mass, like gaining a lot of muscles, I get it. But if you want to stop me from working out, something I'm like running to the gym, going to the gym once in a while, just getting my body in form, then that's something I'll have to look into. But in terms of gaining a lot of muscle and she doesn't like it, I can build more endurance and do a lot of cardio. That's still working out. To make my lady feel good because she's the one I'm with. I'm
Right.
not doing it. I'm not doing it to please people out there. I'm not doing it to make sure someone else see me and be like, "Oh man, you're looking good." If somebody I'm with say, "Mel, you gain a lot of muscles," it's not going to be something I'm going to stop working out. I'm going to have a conversation with her. How do you want it? How you want to see me? Reduce my muscle, gain more endurance. How you want to see it, right? Because she's the one I'm with. If I love her, I'll make that change. I'll compromise on that.
But
Right.
Mel got me thinking now, though, Sam.
You won't go back to that question. That the question I want to go back to. Question I wanted to go back to.
Go
You
there.
know, you know why, babe? He will
Yeah.
tell you that he can stop working out and nothing will happen to him. And if
Yeah,
she leaves or she left,
yeah,
he can go back and begin to work out again.
yeah.
Oh, you.
He
I
took
mean, you
that
answer
risk,
your own question.
and I
You
knew
still
that was
answer
my
your
answer, so
question.
I won't attempt because after you escape. So that what you would say, you would say that you can go back
But
Yeah,
and,
it
Charles,
does.
and
Charles,
change it,
let me erase that
but
thought
the
you
thing
have
will
Yeah,
be
it
it
does.
can't be reversed. You
to
can't
bring,
reverse it.
right?
Yeah,
Working out. I'm not doing any type of
verse.
surgical work. I'm not touching my veins. I'm not doing anything that will cause damage to me, right? This is something I was doing, or I decided to do just to look good, just to kind of change my body form, right? Unlike someone asking me to go down there and do surgery, my brother, and touching my veins. There's a big difference. So we can talk about that all night.
I agree. I kind of wanted to ask you
Yes,
that, but
freedom
I
of
knew I knew
that.
where
Yeah,
you would go.
On that.
Patience, what do you think? You met this guy and you met him, you love him, right? But then you just hope that he would be more you when he
Be more
holds
what?
you. Eh? I
Be
muted
what?
myself for a second. I was saying that you met this guy, right? He's
Uh-huh.
skinny, right? Then you love
Uh-huh.
him. Everything else is good. Down there, everything's great. But when you caught away him, it's like you caught him with some bones, right? Because he's skinny, right?
Uh-huh.
But then you just hope that he was a little buff, right? Right? Because it's possible he could get buff, right?
Right.
How will you bring that conversation up to him?
First of all, I'll start off by feeding him every chance I get. He's gonna eat. Then we're gonna start going to the gym. I mean, I will show him more than time. I'll feed you. You're gonna eat. You're gonna
But how
gain
will you
weight.
how will you have that initial conversation? Will you have the conversation or you just start your actions?
I'll just start my action.
No conversation, you just start feeding that boy.
that's feeding him, man.
Yeah. Eventually, you'll get the picture.
So somebody
Why
says
this
something.
guy is not someone with big appetite?
Somebody says something
Right.
here.
I'll be putting vitamins in whatever small food he eats.
I like
He,
I
he
like
gonna
what
eat.
Fina said there, though.
Yeah, we need to stop turning our partners into something they are not.
They're
We
not
all
for
have
real.
right to our bodies.
It is
But
a
yeah,
body your choice. I agree with that. For many things, your body your choice. If it's something where I feel like I can influence you to become better, I would do so. But I'm not gonna tell somebody to, because first of all, I fell in love with you the way you are. That's who I saw from the beginning. I'm like, yeah, I can
well,
love
people
this.
change. People change,
Then we
right?
work together as a team or partner. When I notice that your body is changing a certain way, I'm like, look, honey, your stomach is growing a little bit. What's going on? And you do the same for me too. Like, look here, this dress look a little too tight on you. What's going on? So we can help each other stay fit and attracted to each other. I take that as compliment, not an insult.
Most women when they start being happy in a relationship, it shows. They,
Right.
they they start to get a little choppy. You know what I mean? It happens. And so I mean, at that point, it's not like, and if a guy doesn't like that, right, you can bring the conversation up because that's not why you like, that's not how you met them.
Right.
You know,
That's not what you met up
There-
with.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's some women you met them, when they were skinny. You married them, and
Yeah.
then they quadruple.
And first of all, let me tell you, okay, I understand that, but if that woman has had child or children within that process, there's more emotional things going on than the physical part. So if that's something that bothers you after you guys got married, that's a conversation you sit and have. That's a gentle conversation you want to have with her, because as a woman, our body changes once we bring our life into this world. That's a whole different thing, and it's 10 times harder to lose that body fat than it
Mm,
actually was when we didn't have kids.
mm.
So that's that whole when a woman get married this and that should get, yeah. You need to be very careful of that statement
So you
because
got it. You got to train carefully,
yeah,
very carefully.
It's a sensitive conversation to have.
Right.
it is. We're not
Now
talking
look,
about your minute. What's saying I'm choosing to just sit down and put your phone on the chair
But
and
I just
drink.
wanted to respond a little bit to
yeah,
what
yeah. Go
you
ahead,
said,
Dallas.
right?
Go ahead.
What you
Go ahead.
said, yes, yeah, we should. I mean, we should all have right to our bodies, but at the same time, though, this is somebody you're with for the rest of your life, right? This is somebody you also want to be attracted to. I think while it is true that we should allow people to be them, well, people become one now when they're in a relationship. So if there is something about your partner, the body, the physique, whatever it is, that you feel like, and hopefully it'll be in the best interest of that person first, health wise, confidence, esteem, and what have you. And then you come later, right? But if there's something that you think maybe the person can improve on, evolve, and it's something that you like, I mean, by all means, I think you should be able to communicate it. Where we have a lot of these issues is how we're communicating,
Right.
these expectations or these changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Melvin, you want to respond to this? To this?
Yeah, I mean that's a very good point. Um, I think I think it goes back to the first point I made. We tend to focus on the wrong thing. If you truly love somebody, understand that a person will not be 16 years old. Understand that that person will not be 25 years old. Understand that that person will not be 30 years old. Body wise, that age as that age increase or the age increases, the body will change. So if you truly love somebody, right?
Mm.
um and as you guys get older, these things they will happen. They will happen. The body will change. But again, if you want to see this person just basically um working on their body and making sure they look the way you saw them, these are conversations you need to have, but have them respectfully. you know have the conversation in a way that you're not making the person to feel bad about themselves, to feel horrible being with you. Be mature about it. A baby, when I saw you, you were 16 years old. I saw this. I still love you, but baby, these are things we can do. Go to the gym, let walk, let jog, incorporate them in these kind of things in a way that you are doing it in a respectful way. But I know a lot of few people will kind of do it in a way that will make the person feel less of humor. And that now, when you start to have the kind of conversation, that's where people can start building resentment. Like maybe maybe you notice it and you didn't even say it, but you're having some type of misunderstanding or confusion. Then you bring it up. Look at how
Mhm.
your gossip grow beat, right? You sit it down here,
Yeah.
you're falling down, right? And those kind of things can pull people down. So you want to
Right.
make sure you have that
Yeah.
conversation in a respectful way.
Right.
If you want somebody working on themselves,
Right.
again, like I said, body will change. People will change. You as a man, you are not the same when you were 17 years old. Remember
Right.
your knee and teenage now, as you get older, your knee too kind of
Mhm,
around.
You
So
don't talk
change
about
will
need in
occur.
here,
It's one of
man.
the
So,
you know.
yeah.
Don't talk. Yeah. Don't talk about need in here, man.
No, I'm just saying that's just an
You know,
example.
three
So,
hours,
yeah.
so need, man.
The association, yeah, you were. What?
Of the
Yeah,
association, yeah.
So what I'm trying to say,
listen,
guys, is have the conversation respectfully.
But they need us to go, Tara.
I'm from
They need us to go. I beg you, yeah.
very
You didn't
aboriginal.
stay
Don't try
talking
it,
of it,
bro.
right, brother?
Hmm.
What?
And you can also practice some healthy stuff around the home too. Like if you notice your woman is gaining weight or your man is gaining weight, you start changing your diet. It's a team effort. Instead of focusing on his
Yeah.
body, it's the things that you do around the house. If I notice your stomach is getting too big, we're gonna start cutting our food in half, and we're gonna change the time we eat and the food we eat too. So those
Right.
are all the things. Sometimes you don't have to say it to the person. You just
Hmm.
act
Hmm.
it and let them pick it up after you. If they're
Absolutely.
not, then that's a conversation you guys are gonna like. Look here, baby, and things is not looking to the way I expected it to look and stuff like that. Is there
Right.
anything we can do as a team
Hmm.
to get back to that physical attraction? And just it's just being an adult about it and sitting and talking and helping each other out, but don't just point the finger and then sit back and not want to do
Right. And
nothing
that's
to help the
important.
person become better.
Right.
You know,
Yeah. No. Absolutely, folks. Man, if you guys are watching us, we're here every Sunday, right? And so at 8 p.m. we're here. So the podcast, we usually have a social segment at this time, and this is when we talk about social issues like this topic tonight. And so, if it's your first time here, we want you to make this home for you. We start at 8 p.m. And next Sunday, we'll be here too. All right. We'll be here and we'll be talking about, we have open mic tonight. I mean, next Sunday, we'll be, discussing a few uh, different topics here and there. And so, come into chime in. If there's a topic you want us to discuss next Sunday, throw it in here and we will not shy away from discussing that. We'll have a full house next Sunday. Patience will be here, Tatas will be here, Melvin will be here, Edwina will be here too. A couple other females will be in the building. So uh, throw your topic here or your topics, and we'll discuss them. So Tatas, let's go back to you here. So if you were in a relationship, man, right, overall, and this woman you met, she didn't have any tattoos, but out of a sudden she just started, having this strong connection with or interest in tattooing herself. What kind of conversation will you start to have with her if you really see that getting out of control? I know you alluded to liking
I would
tattoos,
like
but
I would like to understand where it's coming from. Like I said earlier, folks tat themselves for a lot of different reasons. So I would really love to learn and understand where's that coming from. Maybe what if she has maybe has some type of experience, right? That and she feels like just maybe recording that on herself, documenting that on herself, gives her a reminder and perhaps a way to also conquer, right, or evolve past that experience. I mean, what if it's beneficial to her? So for me, I would like to understand. And you know what? I'll probably say, okay, let us get that together. you
right,
know
right,
you
right.
care about that person, man. Sometimes you be like, hey, let's go get time together. What, I was thinking about something myself. Be supportive, right? Especially
Right.
again, like you said, this is somebody who was never into this thing. I realized is something, the underlying cause behind that is good for her, it's good for her mental, her emotional health. I'll be there as a supportive partner, like, perhaps like we'll get something together.
Hmm. Absolutely. Melvin, what will you say? How will you respond to that?
Yeah, first is just understanding why, what's the driving force behind her just having the urge to have tattoo, right? And if it's based off of what she see her friends do, if it's based off of social media driving that and people having it and no good reasons, I mean, and if she just want to have one or two, that's something she can do. But I think if it's going beyond that to want to just have it all over her body, then that'll be conversation we'll have to have, right? We'll sit down and talk about, like, I don't think this is good for you. It's not about me here, it's about you. It's your long term health I'm looking at here. And plus, as your partner, I'm not okay with you having multiple tattoos. But a general reason, man, some people put
Hmm.
this on them like tattoos are loaded to, maybe one of her parents passed away on a specific date, right? And she want to, put that on her as a reminder. Those type of things happen. People do those things. But if it become like, having it all over you now, then yes, that would be something I'll have to talk to you about and sit down and have a conversation with you.
Right. Patient, if you met a guy and he had Jennifer across his chest, and Jennifer is the mother of his three children, right?
Right.
And you ask him, and he was honest with you and said, "Oh, I got this tattoo, but I mean, it's this massive Jennifer, right? Not even a small one. The entire chest across the chest, Jennifer. Or when you
Okay.
laying there, you laying down in
Lady
Jennifer,
Jennifer.
right?
That's
And
a good question.
and you know, it's just there. This Jennifer is a part of him in the sense that she got him three children, right?
Right.
Everlasting connection. How will you feel about it? And if you felt some type of way, how will you approach it? What's your take?
First of all, if when we first meet and I see that before we can even get like the whole
No, no, no,
emotional,
no, no, no. You didn't see it. You
what do you
didn't
mean?
see it.
How am I
You
not
didn't
going to
see
see it?
it. You didn't see it
You've been
until
hiding it.
you're not knock. You took out your shirt the whole time you're knock.
Okay.
Okay? Matter of fact, it was y'all went to the club. It was dark. Y'all came home. You don't see no tattoo.
Okay. Okay.
Right? In
Okay.
the morning, now you walk out in your chest. You see Jennifer.
I love what
After
Jennifer.
knocking.
It's not the end of
You
the world. We knock. We
walk
knock.
out in there.
I'm sure he
You
wasn't
walk
the
out
first
in the
person
morning.
I
You
knocked,
see
and
Jennifer
probably
in the
will
man's
not be
chest.
the last person I knocked. But anyways,
I like this lady. Yeah.
No, he,
but you can be
no, see,
honest.
after Nagi, you know
That's probably
what
gonna blood commitment.
So now this is the scenario, right? In the morning you wake up now you see Jennifer, you lay down, you wake up, you
They
see
were just
Jennifer.
staring at you.
What are you doing?
And I'm gonna ask him, is this something you plan on keeping? If he said yes, all right, cool. I don't want to wake up to another woman name every morning, so it's not gonna work for me. I don't care if we knock 50 times in the night. It's not working for me. We're moving on.
Damn it. Melvin, if this situation was your situation, what are you doing?
Yeah.
Except
I
except
know
for
I
it's
know
a
you're bringing that question, my
except
brother.
except for it's a female.
Yes, the thing, man. It's a
You
hard
gotta be
conversation.
clear. It's not a guy, it's a
It,
female.
no, yeah. I know you don't have that on here, so I know where you're
Lord
going.
have
But
mercy.
but it's tough, especially knowing that you knock that thing all night and you kind of felt you
What's tough
felt
about
you
it? What's tough
felt.
about it?
Let me answer, please. You felt you felt the connection, and then you wake up, you see Sam on a woman back, right?
No, it's not
Uh,
John.
Well, Jonathan is right.
But Jonathan, because Jonathan longer. Jonathan. Who is Jonathan?
Well, yeah. The first question to ask is it'll be that to know, the name on you, and then if you kind of try to be honest, right, my brother, there are a lot of things that will make a woman put a man's name or a man put a woman's name on him or her.
Right.
And it's a tough thing to just be with somebody with that type of thing on them. Um, for me, I will understand like if you say I'm trying to get rid of it, this happened, this is the person I was into, but we not together. I'm trying to get rid of it, and that's something. But is that something you plan to keep? I'm sorry, that's you're
And
not for me.
she tells you it has just been expensive to do. Would you be willing to support her?
What you were able to do it, was it not expensive when you're doing it?
Look.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
no.
So
Jonathan was her boyfriend, and he was a tattoo artist.
oh, and tenant to put that. Okay, you're trying to create scenario.
Yeah.
I
So
will
he
if
put.
that's something she willing to get rid of, and maybe I'm in a position financially to help
Well,
her. We
accent
can
right.
we can sponsor that. But if her answer is I can't do it, I'm not gonna get rid of it. I'm running away from you, my dear. That's not something I want to be around.
So it would just be a one night thing.
Absolutely.
Titus, you're a very considerate guy. You're a good man. What are you doing?
She got to get rid of it, bro.
Yeah.
She got to get rid of that.
You
You
won't
know,
be you won't be seeing no senator every
I
night,
see
every
it a
day,
little bit.
huh?
I see it a little bit. Like running you. You either
No,
covering
no,
that tat or you getting rid of it. You know what I mean?
absolutely,
What is the
absolutely.
connection? I mean,
No,
what's
it's
going on?
I don't I still don't. I mean, it's not for me to understand, but it just really baffles me, that people can consider, um, patient. That's fine. Uh, Continue to consider to put people's names on them.
And some of
I mean,
those
I
things
I
happen too
love
when they're
tattoos, so
young.
I
I
can't. Yeah,
mean,
yeah, for sure.
when
But some
you're very
adults do it.
young,
Some
and
adults
then
do it,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
I mean, you can put your mom name on you because your mom will always be your mom, dead or alive, right? She remains a part of you, right? Your
yeah.
father,
Your
siblings,
kids,
your kids. You know what I mean? But you put a woman's name on you, she breaks up with you, and she's gone, and then you're stuck with it, right? You're stuck with that mess to clean up. You put a man's name on you, he breaks up with you, he's gone, then you're stuck with it. And mind you, I've seen a woman who actually have put two guys' name on her.
oh man, a
Yeah.
rock star.
She put the
Yeah.
first one and the guy broke up with her, she put the second one in.
Oh
You
boy,
know? So things like that, man. I don't know. But you're right. Sometimes people are in love, they're ignorant about things, and they just feel the need to do it. But
Yeah.
it's never a good idea. It's never a good idea to do.
yeah, I don't think so either.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do it. But yeah, man, let's take let's do a round of last take on the topic, man. Let's leave something well, folks, tonight. It's after 9 o'clock. How you guys feel about this? I mean, you want to keep going or you wanna? What's your take?
We can wrap it up. I
Yeah,
think
I
for
think we've
Yeah, I
exhausted a
think we
little
should
bit.
wrap it up. Let's stick with time. So yeah, Titus. Let's go to you. No, let's go to you, Melvin. What's your take? What will you leave with our folks tonight, considering a societal take on body enhancements?
yeah, this is a great conversation. Great topic. Whoever brought this up really, did well. There's a book called The Beauty Myth, written by Naomi Wolf. It discusses the societal pressure regarding body and body image, right? So what you really focused on was, the society pressure. Um, People nowadays, as they do these things, other people feel moved to do it, right? But the implication of it, wherein you're seeing people lying down in hospitals, they're suffering from body stuff that kind of they just deal with health wise. People not taking those things into consideration. What I would say here tonight, guys, I think we as a society, we as people, should try to encourage each other here. Not to have people focus on the wrong things, right? We pay a lot of emphasis on physical attraction and not look into the most important things that can keep relationship going, right? Or the most important things that will make you healthy, or make you happy, that will make you just live life and not focus on things that society pushing on you or people pushing on you, such as implant, right? Doing BBL, lifting on your butt up, giving yourself boob, as Christians, I'm a Christian. Those things God gave those things to you. What you have should be good enough, right? Be okay with it. Work with what you have. If you want to work out in terms of just changing your body form, some type of body modification, just to going to the gym, stuff like that. There are things that will not impact you negatively. So I think don't allow anybody put you into stuff that you are not okay doing, and don't allow peer pressure make you do something tomorrow that you regret. Here we are tonight talking about people putting tattoo on themselves, right? Their exes names on them, and think about that, right? You and someone you're together, and you have the person name on you, and the person and you not together, but you're going with that name on you, right? The next person coming into your relationship will have to deal with that. So you got to be smart about what you do. You got to be very, very calculative and think about the long term impact of it. Thank you guys. I think we really did a good job here tonight talking about the status and sim. You guys touched on a lot of key things, and we try to do these things every time just to talk about things that are, important to us and our people that listen to us every now and then. So I appreciate the conversation tonight. Thank you guys.
Thank you, Melvin. Thanks for being here tonight. Titus, over to you.
Yep. Thank you as well, Mel. Great conversation here tonight. Patience, I don't know if she's coming back, but
No, she had to take off. She's
yeah,
handling some
we
things.
we appreciate your patience, and our audience, Fina, and I don't know who else was in the chat tonight. Thank you so much for your input. But gentlemen, I think really good discussion. These are conversations that we shy away from a lot in our community. It can be sensitive, and I like how we, kind of navigated the conversation tonight, made it not so serious, not so sensitive as well. Added some humor to it. Really a great team and good stuff we got going on here. So close up, I just wanted to highlight quickly, some stats on everything that we talked about. So, and I'm reading here in 2020, just to kind of show the significance of this thing and how severe it is, especially in the US.
Right.
In 2020, 2.3 million cosmetic procedures took place in the
Hmm.
US, right? So that's,
Say that number again. In 2023, two point what?
in 2020, in the year
2020.
2020, yeah,
Okay.
2.3 million cosmetic procedures were performed.
Do you have any latest update as to 2024 or 2025?
That I would have to kind of go back and check
No,
on.
that's fine. Let's stick with
Yeah.
2020.
And and a lot of those the most common ones was probably a liposuction, right? So that was
Okay.
more about procedure. For non-surgical, between
Liposuction, I think that's the one where they reduce the tummy.
correct.
Yeah, yeah.
And for that you see, in most cases those are for health reasons, right? Obesity, folks want to get back to, to
Yeah.
a more
Get rid
desirable.
of big back.
Yeah, get rid of that big bag energy. So
Yeah.
you can see the various reasons that people do this for. Non-surgical, the buttocks thing that to be doing with the lips and the faces, for 459% between 2000, the year 2000 and 2020, with about 4.4 million procedures, just the buttocks, and fitness. This
Mm,
one actually kind of staggered me, right?
hmm
They talked about 77% of US adults take
Man.
dietary supplements,
Hmm.
77%, with protein supplements being among the most popular. So
Mm,
all of these they're just different forms of enhancements. So I mean, every time we talk about enhancement, or when you think about body enhancement, it doesn't always have to carry this negative stigma. People do these things for different reasons. Some folks just for the heck of it. Some folks are doing it for health reasons, and some just want to boost their esteem, their confidence level. Right,
right.
whatever the case may be, um, as long as you're threading on a healthy line and you're considering the risks are not overbearing to your health. By all means, go ahead. It's a short life. Live, be happy, be fulfilled, especially while you're here. But it's been a really great conversation, gentlemen. I really enjoyed it tonight.
Yeah. No, no, Titus, thank you also. Melvin, man, thank you so much. The only thing I will add to what you guys have said tonight, man, is the fact that, when you do this stuff, whatever it is, whichever one you go and get, pay the right money. Don't go on the side. Don't go to Colombia that is
It's
cheaper, that
literally cheap.
your friend ain't going to California and going to Florida, and paying 6,000 for boobs, then you won't go to Colombia and pay 1,005. Then you come back here, start looking like something happens to you that did something else to you. So go do it right so we can look at it and admire it or whatever we gotta do. Make sure you come back correct. Don't be going and coming back some kind of way. Do it right, and ensure that you're consulting with your doctors. and showing that you're doing your research and all that thing. But hey, man, if you want to go out there and enhance your body, whatever it is for you, it's gonna work for you. Kudos to you. Do your thing. We support you from the men's department here. You know, and if you have a guy you want him to encourage him to enhance his body in some type of way, have the conversation with a man. Have a conversation. Just make sure you're respectful. Whatever conversation you're having when it comes to encouraging somebody to enhance their body or take care of themselves in a way, just make sure you're having that conversation with respect. Thank you so much for being here. We had, quite a few people watching us tonight. We want to say thank you. Thank you for being here. We'll be back here next Sunday. Next Sunday will be open microphone. That is to say, we will be discussing whatever comes to mind. And so we encourage you to be here next Sunday. We'll be here at 8 p.m. tomorrow. No,
So join
next
the
Sunday.
conversation,
So
let's set
join
the
us.
tone.
We'll be here. You have a
Yeah,
good night from our end. We're taking
Podcast
off.
where
we'll be
love
here.
is well
Thanks,
known.
guys.